Toya.
Hi, Asia.
How was your week?
It's almost over, so it is fabulous. It is fabulous. How are you? How is life?
It's okay. It's going. I've been working. Remember I told you last week that I was getting ready to start working.
Yes, and you had an event.
Yeah.
Do tell, pray tell. How did it go?
So I had I went back to the gym that I had gone to before base camp. And they just have a member appreciation week. So they're like, we're just inviting our favorite businesses to come. What day do you want to come? I said Thursday. It was Wednesday or Thursday, and I had to work last night. So I said Thursday, and just got more exposure. I had given one girl a drip the last time I was there, and she actually had made an appointment with me for next week. And then she was coming to the gym today. She was like, can I get a drip when I come to the gym? And I was like, yes. You want me to just move your appointment? She said, oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, just move my appointment from next week till today. So she sat there and got an hour-long drip before her class. So she came early to do her drip, went into her class, and then she went on by her way. But she's really sweet. So it's the second time she's gotten a drip from me. I sent her to, stuff to do the review and stuff. But she's a really sweet girl. We sat there and talked the whole time because she was my only one. I got some people to take I call them rat cards, but basically like information, stuff like that. So it's just getting a lot of exposure. I got another event scheduled for October 28th. So
Girl!
Yeah. It's very like hit or miss, which of course that's what business is.
Right.
So I'm just kind of letting it do what it's going to do. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like,
But it will.
I'll move along when it's time to move along. Because, I don't plan on staying in Memphis anyway, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But it definitely has its purpose, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have something that's mine. I'm not even anywhere close to breaking even yet, so it's not like I'm making a profit off of it. But I'm, just trying to get there. Just really trying to get my name out. Because, for one, and it's funny because the girl that works the front desk at the gym, we were talking about how base camp came to Memphis. So it's all over the U.S. I think she said there's like 15 locations. And it was started by these guys. So every single day, every gym across the United States is doing the same workout, the same playlist, the same workout. It's like like you do 60 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 40 seconds on. Like it's this very like timed workout. It's rounds. It's like 30 rounds of like 60-40 or whatever the workout is. It's upper body, lower body, full body. That's day 1, 2, and 3, and then it starts over. So they do 6 days a week. You can pick and choose when you want to come. You're going to do an upper body day, lower body day. It's only a 35-minute workout. 35 minutes. And the 2 times that I've been there now, everybody comes out, oh my God, that felt so good. Like they literally be dying coming out there. They be breathing hard. They be like, so it's a real intense 35-minute workout, but they were like, you just feel so good after doing it. So I actually signed up for a class next Friday. So we'll see how it goes. It's different. It's a different concept for a gym. Is it
like high cardio or?
Yeah. So there's upper body day. There's bikes in the room, and then there's floor equipment in the room. And you rotate through the equipment.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. So I need to I should have stood in there and watched what they were doing because I'm so confused on how I'm going to do this next Friday. I'm like, I don't know what to do at all. Like, but they assign you to a bike and you'll do the bike for whatever round and then you'll swap with somebody. So they match you with somebody who's the same height as you so you don't have to change the level of the bike.
Oh, they are very thorough.
It's very thorough. And like I said, it was started by these guys and now they just have franchises all over and they literally have a book of these are our workouts and the coaches have to go to training to learn the workouts because they do it every Monday. They're doing that workout in every base camp in the United States. Yeah, so it's very like it's actually a really neat idea for a gym. So yeah, I'm gonna try a class, but I really love working with them. It's a great partnership. They always include me, when they having something. I get really good feedback from their members. It's funny because I know a lot of the members because it's a lot of nurses that work with me. I actually ran into one of my coworkers today that I had been giving report to for the last 3 days. So yeah, I didn't know she'd go there. So we ran into each other. So it's a really nice place, and she told me like kind of what their clientele is, like a lot of attorneys and social workers.
Oh, that's what you want, girl.
So it's nice. I mean, usually they trying to get in and get out. They kind of just stop by, or they don't. They just keep going because it's like it's a 35-minute workout. They're not in the mindset of I'm finna be in the gym for an hour.
Right.
They getting in, getting out. They coming after work, going home because it's either morning workouts like 5:30 a.m., 6:30 a.m. So the people go before work, and then you have the people that come after work at 5 and 6.
Are there a lot of cute men there?
I haven't seen any yet.
Okay.
But this is only my second day that I've been there, and usually Saturdays are where the people, like a lot of people come because they're not at work. So during the week, it's like, I think they said the class holds about 30 people in the room. It holds 30 people at a time. So like tonight it was like 6 people, and like because it just wasn't. People don't try to come after work.
Well, let me know if I need to get a membership.
Yeah, and then the first class is free. You should go with me next Friday. Well, I'm going in daytime. I forgot you people that work 9 to 5.
I know. Lame.
But they do Saturday mornings. I'm like,
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's me trying. I mean, they've been really good to me, so it was the least I could do. And I don't have to pay for the class. It's like everybody's first class is free, so just gonna try it out.
We love it.
Trying to get
love
back
a good
in the swing.
fitness bay and a good boss bay.
Trying to get back in the fitness routine because I fell out when I got sick.
Yeah, I got back in and I'm liking this time because I'm like a addict. I go back to the food. I have a relapse and I just go back to the food and But no, what I wanted to circle back, I wanted to ask you because you are, we've talked about your business journey, your entrepreneurship journey. What have you learned about yourself besides like business? I guess on a mental or a spiritual level, or whatever. Like, what have you learned about yourself embarking on this journey?
I don't want to be that person to say that I kind of already knew how I was, because this is actually the reason why it took me so long to start, because I'm the type of person that I do a lot of research. I go hard before I actually do the thing. And when the thing doesn't work like I want it to, then I almost feel like it's a failure. Not a failure, but it's on its way to failure. And so it's because I feel like I put so much time and effort making it right, because I'm a perfectionist. Like, that's what I do. And it's like when it doesn't go the way I think that it should go right off the bat, it's, like, oh shit, like, why did I do this? I should never started it, blah, blah, blah. But I think something that I have learned is, because I've never had a business before, I'm learning, having a more business mindset. It's more like, these are things that you have to do to get your name out there. So people have to see an ad 20 to 30 times before they even click on it. Or if they click on it, they gonna put their information in there and don't, really follow back up. Or like you have to follow up and you have to, sell it without being a car salesman.
Yeah.
So that's something and I always knew that I was never a salesperson. I used to have this ongoing joke that I couldn't sell you the pants that you were wearing. And it's just because I'm not very talkative anyway. Yeah. And so I just feel like I can't sell people nothing. And then here I go starting a service business where I got to sell it. Wow. But I really, in a sense, I did expect it to sell itself a little bit, because it's a service that it's not new, but it's new to Memphis. And I was thinking like I wouldn't have to sell it as much, but I do, because Memphis is so behind on things. But that's what I was saying earlier, that the girl that was working at the desk, she was saying about Basecamp, is that Memphis is not a market for new and innovative health and wellness type of things. Oh no. And I said, oh yeah, that's the first thing I learned when I opened this business, that it is not, I get more what is this than I could count.
And it's like if it was like a popularity thing or something like that, like we'll hop on that. Yeah. But as far as, like you said, the girls are not, we'll have the handbags. We'll even get I see more and more people getting the fillers and the Botox and like it's in and out type of just a part of our self-care routine. Right. Whereas back in the day it was like massages, whatever. Yeah. But it's like stuff like this, like they, if this was some little popularity trend that happened, we would never see you. The podcast would be through.
Well, I think too,
because you'd be so booked and busy.
It's putting it out there in a way that it looks popular. So people literally go to Google to look up a business and look at the Google reviews. They will look and see how many reviews you have and how many stars you have. So everything is about, does somebody else like it? is it popular? So, you know, when I market it on Instagram, I have to show like, oh, look who's doing it. So I do have some ideas of like content I want to do. I just don't really know how I'm going to do it. But every single reality show I've watched in the last 3 months, somebody's been on there getting an IV drip.
Really?
Housewives of Atlanta. I watched Selling No Seed. One of the guys, he was like, yeah, I do this every week. His mom was like, what are you doing? She was like, he said, I do this every week. Wow. He was like, I feel so much better when I get done. Toya and Reginae got a show. She was getting it on the show. Like every single reality show I've seen now, they're on there getting the IV drip. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, and I knew it was a market in California. I mean, California is very into like innovative health and wellness, and Memphis is just not. I mean, we behind on music. You know, we're gonna be behind on
That's
like
true. That's true.
things like that. So I don't know.
That is true. Well,
yeah. So I'm letting it do what it's gonna do. I'm giving it its time. I'm not stressing about it like I was before.
Good.
I'm just taking it one day at a time. You know, because it's gonna be a minute before I make a profit. It ain't gonna be She by Sheree, but it's gonna be a minute before I make a profit. So I'm like, there's nothing I can do. I can't be 3 places at one time. So either I'm gonna have to make money to pay my bills and take a back seat on the business and just kind of do it when it comes and try to do large events so I can do multiple people at one time. But I can't be everywhere at once.
Right.
And I've had to really take a step back and realize that you got to do what's best for you mentally and, you know, to pay your bills.
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
So what I've heard is your tolerance for certain things that were outside of the unknowns shows that you can handle that. Your perfectionism, you are mastering your need to be perfected, but you still want things to be very top tier, but you still like, hey, I get frustrated, but I pivot. Yeah. So it seems like you can, that's definitely boss shit for sure. So, girl, I see its purpose.
Yeah.
For just it definitely kudos to you. Yeah. I'm proud of you for doing the work, girl.
Thank you.
And starting this and keeping up with it, or just making it your own. Whatever you want to do, it's a success already because you did it. Most people, this stays on the pillow in their dreams or in a journal or just, you know, conversations talking about it and not doing it. You did the shit. So
yeah. Well, I appreciate it because Lord knows if I just had a rich man, I wouldn't be doing none of this.
None of it. Fucking none of it. Like I'd be doing this, but like this would be my definition of work, doing curating and doing feel good things for my.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would always keep like a PRN nursing job because I love being a nurse. It's just, it gets overwhelming. But I would do something fun. Like, I probably would just not even have my own business. I would go work at somebody else's, you know, and get paid to run IV drips all day. Like, that'd be the life.
And don't you, I would be able to flow in I will be able to form in my best arena like that.
If I'm mentally clear-headed on, like, if I don't have to put myself in different shoes in different places every day of the week, I will be so much more clear. I am over the gnats.
Me too. I was trying to be smooth with it, but
I don't know if y'all wherever you are. I know a lot of y'all probably are in Memphis, but I know that Georgia was having a problem. The gnats, why aren't they leaving? Like the temperatures are cooling down. Why are the gnats still attacking people?
Because they're ghetto.
God,
I tried to play it off when I was trying to not let it get on your straw.
It got me itching. I hate bugs,
and we don't have bugs.
I mean, they're just everywhere. Everybody was like, the gnats are just coming out of everywhere. They all in your face. I'm like, just go over there and fly. Like, why you got to be right here?
I don't know. Well, I do have some strawberry letters.
Uh-oh.
So, and my phone is on 6%. So let's just hop to it. I'm just going to get into it. This week, I did not tell Asia about the 2 that we received because I always love the way she responds. You have this nonchalant look about you, but you can tell like this motherfucker. Like, okay,
I'm definitely thinking. People can tell me I'm thinking. Yeah.
The last strawberry letter that we did, bitch, the gnat.
Not to the gnat.
It almost flew in my mouth. If it flies in my mouth,
it's over with. I'm sorry. We had a short episode last week, and we apologize for that. But this one's gonna be even shorter.
Oh my God, even shorter. Whew. Okay, pivot, just like Boss Asia. Okay. So number 1. Okay. Okay. So, Sexy Red only gets shunned because she's ugly, but since Meg and Cardi B is pretty, they can say the same thing and get away with it. You guys are just hating because she is dark-skinned, she speaks her mind, and she is unapologetic. That's what it says.
So all three of those reasons are not true.
Okay.
She can say whatever she want to say. She can sing what she want to sing.
Okay. She
can be unapologetic all she want to. Baby girl still need a bath. Okay. I don't discriminate. Like, I don't. If you want to call it pretty privilege, then call it what you want. But you need to look. I'm all for women looking like women, and I mean, if that's what you know, if you identify as a man, that's a whole nother story. But if you're a woman, you identify as a woman, you look like you smell good. Like, even if you don't wear perfume, you might be allergic, you might got eczema, you can't wear perfume. I don't know what your situation is, but look like you smell good. Like, you ever seen somebody be like, I wonder what Beyonce smell like? Like, it's just like you look like you smell good. True. You look like you took a bath.
True.
Like, that's my issue with her. It ain't got nothing to do with Pound Town or whatever she be talking about. Mm-hmm. Take a bath. Put on some better clothes. Like, that's the problem for me. Okay. And there are times I didn't agree with Cardi B had on. But you don't see Cardi B on the red carpet with a mini skirt, a crochet mini skirt, and a crop top. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, the girl she got on dresses. Mm-hmm. Like, so if you want to compare, let's compare all the way, everything.
Right.
So no, I don't care what she unapologetic about or what she talk about or what she rap about. She just needs to take a bath.
I agree with all of the above. And my thing is, so I'm not a fan of anything and pretty privilege, all of this. That's not the thing. My thing is the talent. Okay. My thing is the lack of like aspiration. Like, these, like, you can say a pretty privileged thing or whatever. I don't like her look. If you want to compare it to,
right.
But I also don't like seeing, you know what I'm saying? I love all of these women shaking their ass stuff like that, but I'm just getting tired of seeing it. Mm-hmm. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't care to see it. So I'm like, But when I listen to Meg has a cadence, Meg has a flow, Meg has a, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, she really puts, you can tell that she has you can tell that she has an artistry. And even though the ratchet ones and everybody from the gangster boos and the little chats, it's like, it still was an artistry that they had with it. Them, it's just Pound Town, Booty Hole Brown. Like, it's like the Sukianas, and I'm like, get your money,
she wears me thin too.
Right.
Sukihana wears me thin too.
Like, get your money, mama. Like, and she said it. She said, I'm not what do you call it? Like, I'm not trying to be a role model.
Okay.
She'll say it. So it's like, I appreciate that. Get your money and all this stuff like that. But I'm like, I don't want this to be a trend of somebody we just doing anything now. Yeah. That's all. Yeah. Like, that's all. So, the tattoos and the lace fronts and stuff like that, baby girl, do your thing. You got way more money than I do. And whatever you're doing is working for you. But I'm like, I just don't want this to be a thing. Yeah. Because we already putting our bodies out there. Like, let's have a little bit with our mind. Like, let's have a little bit of talent or work ethic, like, you know what I'm saying, these ABC, these Dr. Seuss type rap, pink cat, blue cat, red hat, and all you gotta do is twerk. Man, you need to do it then. Shoot.
Well, that's what I said. Girl, sing about what you want to sing about. Twerk how you want to twerk. Do what you want to do. But I believe that on a red carpet, you should not have had on a red crochet skirt. Like, you had on a Hot Miami Styles beach outfit. And I know people might not know what Hot Miami Styles, but it's a clothing store in Miami, Florida, and they sell all those type of clothes. It was literally a crochet, I don't even know if it's crochet. It was a mini skirt and a bikini kind of top on the red carpet.
Oh, that sounds treacherous.
Yeah, and that's the problem that I have. I don't care what you're singing about. Right. I don't have to listen to it.
Right. And y'all need to stop this aggression. Again, we're on y'all team, but I'm happy this is
y'all really be coming for us.
Y'all be coming for us. Yeah. It's like, in society, don't make this a thing. If I don't like what you like, that don't mean I'm hating on you. Right.
Exactly. Oh my God. Can we please go back to like Facebook and LimeWire and like, when people had opinions and nobody was hate. Like, why everybody got to be a hater now?
Why? Like, how come I just cannot not? I think that you're a great business person, because clearly it's a lane for it, because people love Sexy Red. So I'm not hating on you. Get your money. I'm rooting for you in the stands. I am, but I just don't like. I like what I like too.
Right. And I can say my opinion. I'm not in her DMs. I'm not on her comments. I'm not writing to her management team talking about how I don't like her. I am on my own platform saying what I do not like about Sexy Red, and it ain't got nothing to do with what she's singing about.
That's it. We're not saying she's not valuable as a woman. That's what I'm saying. People be like, just because I disagree with you, oh, you're a bad woman.
Yeah, it's like,
girl.
Anyways, like, next question.
They do be coming for us a little
bit. That just wore me thin.
Sure did. They was like, y'all just hating. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so the next one. Okay. Seems like we're getting coming for it a little bit again. Okay, so the game is to be told and not sold. But ladies, tell me what it means when men don't supposed to eat spaghetti.
I have never done this. I will never do this. It's actually.
Wait, are we gonna tell?
I'm
pretty
sure a lot of people know.
But why don't he know?
I don't know. He probably ate somebody's spaghetti before. If he don't know. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna say don't eat nobody's spaghetti.
Right.
We're saying that the urban legend is that there's a possibility that this could have happened to your spaghetti. Doesn't mean just don't eat nobody's spaghetti. Ooh. But the urban legend is, because this kind of goes back to homegirl that was wanting to perform witchcraft on
right. Dude. That's what I'm like. I'm scared that this person doesn't know this.
Yeah. So the urban legend is that there's women who believe in witchcraft, and they believe in calling on the spirits so that a man will like her or be with her or whatever she wants out of the situation. And what happens is spaghetti has red sauce. And what the woman does is she will put her menstruation excretion, whatever, the things that come out when you menstruate, the blood, she would stir that into the spaghetti sauce. And the urban legend is that if the man eats the spaghetti with the red sauce, with the menstrual products, not the ones you buy at the store, that he will then fall in love with her.
Ooh, sure was like that love spell one.
Yeah, it's like a love spell. I don't like my own cycle. I don't want to be on it. It's disgusting. It's not disgusting. Don't get me wrong. It's for the women out there. Power to the women. But whatever. It hurts. I don't want to be on it. I feel gross. I take like 3 showers a day when I'm on my cycle. Like, there's no way I'm scooping my menstrual excretion, or I don't even know the word I'm looking for, and putting it in a fucking sauce and serving it to somebody.
That's what they do, sis.
Like, that's what it means. It's disgusting. So since you don't know what it means, I would just recommend you not eat nobody else's spaghetti.
Right.
Because they be like, if it ain't my mom's spaghetti, I'm not eating it. And I'm like, well, okay, that's fine. But
right.
I don't know if it's still a thing, though. You think people still out here doing it?
I think the girls, with all of the fancy things that they got these days, I don't even think that they even need to. They could probably pluck some hair or some shit and do some they got so much innovative, high-tech spiritual stuff that they doing now. I'm like, they
ain't scooping up there.
Yeah.
How do you?
And how much do you get to even make like a,
I don't think there's a measurement. Just like you ain't measuring your seasoning that you put in there. I don't think they measuring how much they put in there. But it's like,
because I'm thinking tomato pack. I don't want to get too graphic because it's
but
I'm just trying to see how they do it. That's all. And
I just wonder,
girl.
Like, that felt more bigger than
we're getting ganged over here. We're getting gang raped by fucking gnats there. Okay, but yeah.
But I'm like, do you like okay, so like this was happening before the Diva Cup. So the Diva Cup, well, I think we should explain what the Diva Cup is, because some people don't know what it is, especially men who are asking about what this means. But the Diva Cup is, it looks like this. It's like a little cup that you kind of insert in, and it catches the blood that comes out. So this legend is prior to the Diva Cup. So I'm like, okay, if you was wearing a tampon or a pad, it soaks in. So like you have to get it like fresh out.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Because it's a paste. Like if you urinate this red liquid, but how do you like? What are you? You're not putting.
Maybe
like
are they digging in?
Oh.
We gonna have to table this discussion because I don't want to be too graphic about it, but
yeah,
that's what it means.
Y'all
it's an urban legend, and I just suggest you not eat anybody else's spaghetti because I don't know if the women out here still doing that. Like she said, I think they have come up, with AI and Chat GPT. I think they probably have gone to other levels of witchcraft. I don't know. I don't dabble in it. I don't want to know about it. Don't talk to me about it. Don't make a voodoo doll out of me. I'm sorry if I'm telling all your secrets, but don't eat nobody else's spaghetti.
Don't eat nobody. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. And I love how some of this stuff y'all can Google. But y'all just be trying to get a reaction out of us now.
Well, I'm starting to reaction.
Wow. That's like I said, if I got to do all that, I really don't want the guy.
No.
I don't want him because that means he doesn't want me.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get with my program and I that's not a program that I want to get with necessarily. The fuck? Like
you don't want to get my program and that's not a program I want to get with.
Right. Like if you don't like me at all, like let's I'll get with your program and you get with mine, but it's not like I'm just finna like.
Yeah.
I'm not finna make you like me.
Yeah. It's weird. That's weird. But again, ma'am.
Not you. You not
ma'am,
weird.
If you're on the other side of this camera and that's what you do, then you do you by all means.
I got too much shit going on in my life. I think somebody put a hex on me. I think I'm trying to undo something. I think somebody fucked with me, bro. Somebody in my past or somebody. Because, you know.
It's probably dude telling me something. You still got man problems?
What if it is?
It's the scream.
I swear, if they could hear that would be like perfect. Okay, so someone just literally just did a funny sneeze and it was funny. Oh my goodness, what was I saying? Lord Jesus.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, but I think I'm just trying to undo what somebody, for real.
So you think somebody put a hex on you?
The shit that has happened to me in the past year, yeah.
Well, you ain't clucking like a chicken, as you would say.
You don't know. You don't know what I do behind. No, I'm joking.
Oh my God.
You're like, bitch, are you okay?
Like, we need to end this and talk about something.
Go
private.
Straight to Lakeside.
No, girl, I'm not going. I'm gonna have to call the people to come get you. I'm not driving over there. I can't stand that place. We had a clinical rotation there.
So, like, what did you see?
A lot, to the point where I don't drive down the street next to it. I don't drive that way no more.
I thought Lakeside. No, is Lakeside for kids?
There's a alternative school there for children who are mentally disturbed. Yes.
Oh.
But it's three different sides. So the underage people are in one building. The high functioning people are in another building. So those people that's like said they're gonna commit suicide or something like that. You go to mental health facility for that.
Oh yeah.
And on the other side it's like it's the people that be slobbing and
like they may need a lobotomy.
We had to work on both sides.
Like Shutter Island crazy? You lying.
I mean, there are facilities that are worse than Lakeside where they're a little bit worse than that, but I don't know. The high functioning side, of course, is people that just had depression or said that they wanted to commit suicide. Like they would go to therapy and stuff over there. The other side is like people who were like basically in their psychosis. Like there was a lady who was,
oh my God.
I guess she was schizophrenic. It's funny, but not funny. I mean, I'm saying funny because it's weird. But back when I was in nursing school and I went to clinical, there was a situation on the news where this lady had done something at a school. Like, very well-to-do lady. Like, may have been like an attorney or a social worker, like something like that. Nice job. And literally had a psychotic break. And had went up to this school and did something. I don't remember what it was, but it was on the news. And I went to Lakeside for my clinical. I was there for however long a semester is. I had to go every week for a semester. And she was in there. And she was the only one. So she was on I'm going to say low functioning for a lack of a better word because I don't remember what it was called. But it was people that were mentally disturbed at that moment. Like they were in a psychotic break, like their medicine, they weren't taking the medicine wasn't working, whatever the situation was. She was over there, she's the only one talking. She was yelling to everybody. She was trying to like act like she was dominant over everybody that was in the facility.
Oh my God.
So she was having a psychotic break, like whatever, because they don't take you to jail in that situation. They take you to a mental facility.
Got you. So they can, right.
Yeah. So she was there after I saw it on the news, and I go with clinical, and she in there, and I'm just sitting there looking at her like, what is she talking about? But yeah, my teacher, so if you know a nurse, they had to take mental health, just ask them how was their clinical rotation and how their mental health instructors were. I guarantee you everyone will tell you that they all needed to be admitted to a mental hospital. Every last one of my teachers that taught mental health needed to be in a mental hospital. They were crazy. They were crazy. So I was sitting in there, and I was sitting in a chair. We had to go to group with them. I was sitting in a chair at the door waiting on group to start, and this lady comes up to me, and she's not speaking coherently, but she comes so close to me that she's leaning over me like this. Like I couldn't get up in time. So I'm sitting here like this, and her face is like right here, like not speaking coherently. She's slobbing, and my teacher is like across the room with her foot up on the wall, just looking at me. Right. And I'm looking at her like,
you gonna get this bitch?
Are you not gonna tell the text to come get, like anybody, come get her? I can't move. I'm in a chair with arms that are up to here, so I can't slide that way. She's standing right in front of me. I'm like, get this lady out of my face. Like, what are you doing?
Oh,
she's just standing on the wall. And then I ended up.
And why did she say why would she do that?
She was like, she wanted to see how I was going to react in the situation because I was in a mental health clinical.
Oh.
I was in school. Like, I'm like.
Even if I went in a clinical, help me, bitch.
I'm like, there is no point where you should be cornered by a patient. Whether I worked there or I was a clinical or I was a student or I was a teacher, there's no reason why I should be backed into a corner by a patient. And if that happens, like let's say I work there, somebody else is coming to help me.
True.
But you standing back there looking, at that point I was done with her. So then by the end of the clinical, we went back to the high functioning side. I ended up meeting this girl that was like 18 that was depressed, and she had literally lost everybody close to her. Like her aunt that was raising her had died, her grandma had died, her uncle had died. Like her mom left her a long time ago. So all these people she's latched on to that are taking care of her all ended up dying. And so she was like bad off. And so I just remember we had to sit at the table and talk to them. And I talked to her or whatever. And I feel like I have this spirit anyway. Like people literally just come and tell me their whole life story. Just randomly. It's very random. And so I sat there and talked to her, and by the end of it, she started crying, and she went to her room and she laid down. Mind you, they weren't supposed to be in their rooms. They were supposed to be up interacting, getting ready to go to group and stuff. And so somebody had told my teacher that she had gone to her room and she didn't want to talk to anybody anymore and that she was crying. My teacher like got on me and was like, why didn't you tell me that you made her cry? I was like, I didn't make her cry. I'm like, everybody in her family just died and she's depressed. She's going to cry anyway. What do you mean like it's my fault that she's crying?
Oh, she is crazy.
Yeah, she's crazy. So before we left, I went to the girl's room and I knocked on the door and I was like, hey, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't make you feel bad. And she gave me a hug and everything. And it was just like, why are you trying to make me feel bad about, having a breakthrough with a patient?
Right.
So at that point, I was done. I was done with that clinical. I don't drive down that street. I told this guy I dated one time. I feel like he was right around the time I was in nursing school. Maybe it was, I don't know. It was around the time. And he, for lack of a better word, he was crazy. Okay. He had did something one time, and I proceeded to Google the number to Lakeside.
Oh, so he needed to be in Lakeside.
And I copied and pasted the number and sent it in a text message. I didn't say where the number was for or nothing. He must have looked it up because he called back cussing me out. I sent him the number. I said, you need to go admit yourself. Yeah, you do.
He was that crazy.
He was crazy.
I had one of those. I believe you.
Like one night he came home, a cat scared him because it was stuck inside of a chip bag on the porch. He shot it.
Oh, that's a psychopath.
A sociopath.
Sociopath.
Yes.
Okay,
but it's the one of those paths that you took.
Yeah, wrong path.
Yeah, he shot the cat because it scared him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and he was military, so.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that was my moment that I was warded off from military people. I was like, nope.
Girl. Oh, girl. Ooh, girl, I got triggered.
And I've even I don't like to say that one person made it because I've tried to date multiple people over the time that are military, and they all have literally I'm like, they need to be in. And I hate it because, you know, people be like, thank you for your service. Thank you for. And I'm like, these people are literally brainwashing them when they go to basic training.
Brain fucking washing.
My ex came back from basic training and he left basic training because he was like, they literally in there brainwashing you.
They are literally brainwashing you, and then you put them in these traumatic, or if they, God forbid, they have to go off to the war, because in our age group there were some like, you know, they're in their 40s and stuff.
They've been to combat,
They've literally been like, and you stick them over there or whatever, and then you expect them to come back here and be a regular civilian after all of this shit that they seen, having to blow up babies and old people and this and that and all in schools and shit. And you mean to tell me they got, like, so I understand it from that aspect of having PSTD and mental issues, and they got the worst fucking healthcare. I'm sorry. Veteran health, it's like they don't have resources out there for people to just go from combat to being a regular civilian like you and I.
And that's a lot of our homeless population is ex-military.
It is, and I don't like that at all. But the ones who got a little bit of sense and still are impacted by, I don't know if it's the military, I don't know if it's mixed with childhood trauma or whatever, but the guys that I've dated and that I've interacted with who've been in the military had, you know.
Yeah, I hate to be an absolute type of person because, you know, I'm not, but I'm not dating anybody in the military.
This is our experience.
I don't care what branch.
Right.
I'm not.
I don't care what
I tried to date a Marine. Girl.
All you niggas got to do is swim.
No, they don't.
I know.
Marines are the most brainwashed branch.
Really?
They have a very, like, Marines are very, have you ever, it's this book, and it's like something, how to make your bed, or make your bed every morning, or something like that, and it's written by a Marine. They are very strict. Even like when they have families and wives and children and stuff, they are very, very strict, extremely strict. Like, you need to make your bed, you need to tuck the corners, you need to, like, they're very straight-laced, Marines are. And it's because they've had the strictest training out of all the branches.
And they got hazed too, probably, did it?
I mean, I feel like that's what it is anyway. It's just another word for it. But he got out after 4 years. So by the time I met him, he had been out for a long time. But it was the fact that he was a Marine and a Sagittarius. And I was like, you know what?
Not the Zodiac and the branch of Army.
If you don't know me, I have warded off all Sagittarius.
December.
Yes, late November, early December. I have warded off all. The only Sagittarius in my life right now is Fred.
So how do y'all coexist?
Because apparently friendships work, relationships do not.
Oh, okay.
I dated. Remember I told y'all about the white guy?
Yes, that bitch was a
Sagittarius. And I knew it. I was like, I can pick it up. Like when, and I know some people don't.
Like, what's the common theme with them?
They are, okay, so for one, they're very flighty. They're very like.
What's flighty? Baby?
Like, things change at the drop of a hat. Like, oh, I'm bored with this. Let me do something else.
Ugh.
Like, very just fly by the seat of the pants, just all over the place, which is not bad for somebody that can handle that. I'm very like stationary and, you know, but that's not the worst part. The worst part is that they are so their nickname is Sagittarius.
I love the way you're speaking with this with so much conviction.
Oh, I'm telling you, like, I'm not the type of person never that I'm going to give you an absolute. I'm not ever going to say like, oh, I'll never do this or I'll never do that. I'm telling you right now that I'll never date another Sagittarius and I'll never date a Marine and probably no other branch in the military either. Like, I'm dead set on those.
Me too. Like, that's almost a deal breaker for me, military.
I think that we should like have Fred, like, because Fred knows that he's a Sagittarius. Like, he knows how he is in relationships. He knows how bad he can be. It gets crazy. They're very, it's not even their way or the highway. It's like, you're wrong if you didn't do it my way.
Oh gosh, that's a lot.
But for some reason it works in friendships, but relationships, and he'll tell you, him trying to date a Virgo, it does not work. It does not work.
And
but
you're
anybody,
yeah,
but he knows. He dated a Virgo before. He was like, it doesn't work. Like, dating does not work between Virgo and Sagittarius.
Wow.
But it's crazy because nobody works with a Sagittarius. Like, I'm sure, like, if we did a poll, that we will have a lot of people, like, no matter what your zodiac sign is.
Bruh, you can't say.
I'm
Okay. the conviction. You know, I don't want to. I've never dated a Sagittarius.
Don't do it.
I don't want to do it.
Don't do it, Celie.
I'm not.
And I'm not real big on zodiacs. I do feel like they persuade our personality, but of course, you know how you were brought up, who your friends are. That also persuades your personality too. But I think zodiacs play a big role in our personality traits. And I can guarantee you that if you Google it, I'm sure you can Google it and you can look and say, what's the most hated sign? It's going to come up. Literally, that's their nickname. That's well known. Their nickname is Sagittarius.
So you and your best friend thrive so well because you guys have an awareness of each other's not flaws, but
ticks or yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he asked me the other day. He was like,
in a romantic relationship. I wonder.
Because romantic, you just on a different level. Like you expect more out of a romantic relationship, and so for him, and this is why I can speak firsthand. For him, he doesn't require a whole lot out of friendships. He requires more out of romantic relationships. And like I said, if you don't do it their way, then you're wrong. It's not my way or the highway. It's not like, oh, I wanted it done my way. I don't agree with you. No, it's like, no, I'm coming at you. We going in. I'm telling you that you're wrong for what you did because it wasn't my way.
Sheesh.
Yeah. It's crazy. But no, seriously, that's a well-known fact that you can literally type in the word on Google and I'm sure it's going to come up. Sagittarius is a real thing. Nene Leakes is a Sagittarius. You know, she's a mean girl. Like,
wow,
they're just
that's
mean.
A really great example. So, if you dated a Sagittarius.
Nicki Minaj.
Oh, bitch. You're onto something. No more, please. Oh my goodness. So if you've dated a Sagittarius and
you've been personally victimized by a Sagittarius, please write into this post.
You may be entitled to compensation. Oh my goodness.
Where is my compensation check?
Now, I'm sorry, military men, and I love y'all. Thank y'all for y'all service and what y'all have done for the country. But I can't. Just some of them that the stereotypical ones that make the military men seem bad romantically. I've experienced them.
Yeah, I dated one who was in therapy, and he went to the doctor.
Oh,
and he FaceTimed me while he was in the doctor, and he kicked over the bedside table because they didn't give him what he wanted. Kicked it on FaceTime with me. I'm speaking for personal experience. I'm not out here to
is a safe space.
to talk about people. I'm telling you firsthand experience of all the things I've dealt with those.
So you won't have to go through it. And I'm not saying do not date nobody of that. Just be aware of the mental issues. I dated one, and I don't even know what phase I was going through in life, but it was I can take accountability. He didn't believe in God anymore because he went to come back, blew up, whatever. I seen it, whatever. But he didn't believe in God after he got exposed to so much. He was like, hey, like Christianity.
That is not a gnat.
Is that a bee, bitch?
No, it's not a bee. I don't know what it is. Is it a mosquito?
Is it in my hair?
No. Did you see how big that was?
No, I didn't. I just move when you move. You don't have.
Sorry, y'all. That was not a gnat though. I wonder, can you see it on camera? It was big.
I believe, black, we gonna run whenever it's time to, if you get up, I'll get you. I swear. Okay. I'm trying to pivot, but I literally have drunk all of my Pinot. But
Lord, mind you, we haven't drank.
See, this is the repercussions of dating a military man. You get to no, I'm joking.
No, but I think we should take a break because that bug just.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, We'll take a break and then we'll come back. I got a question about a show that I've been watching that I want to ask. So we'll be back. Okay, so I said that it was like get back in character. So I've been watching this show called The Love Experiment. It's on MTV. And Fred, of course, got me watching it. But so basically, it's like Tinder comes to life. So what they do is they have 3 girls on there, and they go through picking 3 guys that they would like to date. and they looking on, like, it's like a Tinder profile, kind of. It's like, what do you like to do? Some pictures of you, like how you would set up your, I did Hinge, but how you would set up your dating profile. And so they get to pick, and then they go on dates and stuff, and then they throw curveballs to tell them, like, when somebody has to go home so you can go pick another guy, or do you want to keep the same 3 guys that you got? Yeah. And so it's very interesting. So the 5th episode just came out yesterday. But something that happened on there recently was, so this one girl, she's got some good picks. To me, I think they're really good picks. And she was having a really hard time trying to figure out who she wanted to keep, send home, blah, blah, blah. So they get to go on, like, separate dates. Sometimes it'll be like a day date. One guy, it was like a nightcap date, and then you get the choice to ask him if he wants to stay over. Like, it just depends on what order you put them in today. So yeah, it's a lot, and it's quick. So you got to get down to, like, the nitty gritty questions. Like, they have a relationship. I don't know what technically her title is, but she's kind of like a women's relationship expert. Oh, okay. Like, she only talks to women. And she was like, you have to ask, like, serious questions. Don't ask what's the favorite color. Like, you need to, so how was your upbringing? Like, do your parents are together? Do you want kids? Like, how, if your parents weren't together, how did that affect you? Like, you got to ask, like, serious questions because you're moving fast. So anyways, one of the girls goes on a date with it's a out of town date. So they're already out of town, but they get to go up the mountain. It's wintertime. They go up the mountain to a date in a, I want to say chalet, but what do you call it? Like a cabin.
Oh, okay.
It's not a cabin. It's really a house, but it puts you in the mind of a cabin. Anyways, roundabout, explanation for no reason. But so the question came up of, like, how was your family's upbringing, and how do you see the role of a woman and all that kind of stuff? And a little bit more backstory. The guy that this girl is dating, I actually have run across his Instagram several times. So he's all about, being a Christian. He's 28. He's still a virgin. Like, he wants to literally be married before he has a baby. But just off his Instagram, very nice guy, very high quality pick. He's an attorney. He has his own law firm. Like, very nice guy. And if that's not your cup of tea, like, to be with a virgin or to maybe think that he's not a virgin, it is what it is. But that's not even the premise of the question. That's like, oh, okay, you're a virgin, whatever. Like, they keep moving. It's not, they don't even harbor on that.
Okay.
So he said, yeah, so he goes, basically that the man is the decision maker. He was like, if a man's supposed to lead, then ultimately he's supposed to make the final decision. And the woman is supposed to just follow what he says. And I'm giving it to you like that because that's how he said it.
Okay.
In a way.
Okay.
And more so saying, like, he was like, well, I thought we were all Christian. He was like, it's God, the husband, the wife, the kids. Like, this 4-tiered,
Okay.
And the girl got immediately turned off, was very upset, was like, we're not dating anymore, because she was like, I don't appreciate that you're not expecting a woman to be your equal. Like, you're saying that she's basically beneath you because you have the final, like, everything you say goes, basically, is what she was getting at.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts if you were in her position and you really, really liked this guy? Everything about y'all's dating up to this point was amazing. Like, you actually were struggling between picking him and another guy, and then he hit you with that. Like, what would your reaction be?
Well, initially my reaction would definitely be to, okay, really reduce stock all the way and start detaching. Okay. But I would also see if he could make space for me. Okay. Like, maybe this is your upbringing, maybe you not, but with you being an attorney, that means you have exposure and access to different ways of thinking. Okay. And you are able to logically, not even emotionally, you're able to emotionally take yourself away from work and logically defend or support somebody. So I would see if he could kind of do that for me. And if he could, even if he struggled with it or whatever, if he was open to it and would understand me and make space for me, I'd be like, okay, maybe this is something. Because I'm pretty sure I have that thing where it's like you are a great quality person, but I just don't like that. Yeah. And you could, so with religion, people be so convicted, but it's like, if you think that way, it's kind of like, that's immoral, like that's embedded in you. So it's kind of like, am I asking you to change your more, like some people don't change that much where it's changing like an attitude or like a temper. Man, I would definitely have to like start detaching, because that's like can be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
Because you got religion in it, and then you looking like, yeah, okay, you're misconstruing like that it is God, the man, the woman, and stuff like that, but it's not like in a, you know what I'm saying? It's balanced. Yeah, it's God, the man, the woman, but also, motherfucker, he needed me to come from your rib. So, motherfucker, clearly I got some weight, nigga. Come on now. But, yeah. First instinct, flight or flight, run.
Yeah.
But I would see if he can make space for me, but I would not be expecting too much from that.
So, of course, with this being a dating show and an experiment and we got to move fast, she was like, all bets are off. I'm not, you know. And to his defense, he did come back and say, like, I thought we would have at least had a conversation about it. You know, like, yeah, so they didn't have a conversation about it at all. She gave him a second opportunity the next day to kind of explain himself and to acknowledge the other women, because they're all three women are dating the guys at the same time. So they're living in a hotel. So they're like dating at the same time. And she was like, you didn't even acknowledge like the other women, like you didn't acknowledge any of us. You like explaining yourself to the other men that are on the dates with us. That's her take on it. But he was like, I would have just liked to have a conversation with you about, you know, my thoughts on that, my thought process and all that kind of stuff. So I do agree with you. I do think that it's not an absolute. It's not a like, I'm beneath you. It's so his example was, if we have a disagreement on something and we got to come to a compromise and we don't reach a compromise, then the man has the ultimate decision.
That is baloney.
Yeah.
Now, I don't like that.
No, I think the end goal should always be the compromise. What's the compromise? It's not somebody's decision over the next person. Right. And me being the person that gives the benefit of the doubt when they don't deserve it is, I think that had they had a conversation, I think he could have explained it better. I think it was just very like,
matter of fact.
It was spit it out because somebody asked you, and I didn't get a chance to get you to understand where I am. I do like the fact that you said, you know, you're an attorney. You have the ability to interact with multiple different types of people. So just because you saw that growing up, why do you feel like there may not be a different way? Like, and to his defense, I think that, you know, because he considers himself a Christian to the point even of waiting till marriage, then those are hardcore things that he's not going to change on. And that's something that you got to realize that this is not, we don't need to have a conversation about it, because you're not going to, I'm not in the business of changing you. Right. Like, somebody out there is more than willing to be just like your mom. And that's where my problem came in, because I have a problem with men being raised in a two-parent household where their parents were married before them and are still married after they leave the house, and them thinking that their marriage is going to look like their parents. I have a huge problem with that, because at the end of the day, I am not your mama and you are not my daddy. Like, I don't act like your mom. I'm not. And I get it. They say that people tend to gravitate towards people, like men gravitate towards women who act like their mom. Women gravitate towards men who act like their dad. But I don't. Our relationship is not going to look the same. First of all, we're in a whole different millennium. Okay? We got different things that we fighting against. We, you know, they was in the 70s, we into 2022, like, or 2023, or whatever the year may be. That's the difference on one end. Right. Another thing is, you have to go into a relationship saying, what can I do in this relationship to make it better? You can't compare me to what your mom and dad had, because at the end of the day, you don't know what they went through. They ain't told you everything they went through. They didn't tell you what they overcame. They didn't tell you that he cheated or she cheated or got a baby up the street. Like, they don't tell you all that stuff. So why are you constantly trying to compare and make your relationship look like your parents, because it's your idea of a successful relationship? Because your parents could be together just because they was like, well, we ain't getting a divorce. I don't like him. We don't sleep in the same bed. We don't sleep in the same room. I don't like your dad, but we stayed together. That could be that situation.
Preaching today, honey.
So why is it like you trying to make your relationship look like your parents' relationship?
And then my thing is, and maybe it's so, and I haven't seen the episode, but it's like, my thing, you're an attorney. I'm just going to hone in on this. You're an attorney. You're very smart. You're very strategic. And everything you say is calculated, because it leads to you getting a paycheck or winning a case or helping a client. Right. So you knew that you were saying something that's very, stereotypical woman that's offensive to. Yeah. But then all of this stuff, like you said, he said, I wish we could have had a conversation. Did you say, like, did you explain, well, hey, can I hear your thoughts? Well, I'm open to having this, because I'm like, you saying that on the back end, like, if you saw some quality in me or something like that, would you not advocate to be like, hey, I'm willing to look at things from a different point or something like that, nigga?
Mind you, if I was to ever see this man in person, or like, I don't know, somehow get in his space, I probably would like date him. Like, and but I would still say, like, could we have a conversation about your idea of what a family dynamic looks like?
That's important.
Because it's like, nobody has the final say so between a man and a woman. It always, always, always has to be a compromise. Like, you have to, if you're disagreeing on something, you have to figure out what's in the best interest of us as a couple, and that's something that you agree on. It's not because you as the man, in the sense of I'm being a leader, that I'm making the decision. That's not what a leader is.
Right. Everybody knows that's what a tyrant is. That's what Hitler was.
So that's what me and Fred was talking about. It's like a democracy versus a, I can't remember the type he used, but basically, yeah. Are you a president or a tyrant? Or, you know, it's, I just, it wasn't he didn't turn me off. Like, I didn't look at him any other type of way. I think that's just what he's used to and what he's raised as. But I think that his mind could be changed about it in the future? Probably. He's only 28. Like, I think that if he had a conversation with somebody who didn't agree with that wasn't like she was like rolling her eyes and going, like, you can't accept that, right? If I grew up this way and you come at me rolling your eyes and you put on your sweatshirt that say protect black women, like, as a statement, you know, you talking about how I didn't acknowledge your friends, like, you came at him where he couldn't listen, like there was nothing for him to listen to.
That's a really good observation.
So I think had she came to him and say, I really want you to break down for me, like, what do you mean by, or let's have a conversation about how I may disagree with your ideals. I think that they could have had an amazing conversation and probably could have come out to say, like, you know, well, I didn't mean it like that, or I know it's not an absolute. I know that there are times when, you know, things have to be discussed. And here's the thing. Back to me talking about you don't know what your parents went through. You think that your daddy is the one out here making decisions, but you don't really know. The woman is literally in the background always.
That's true. That is
maneuvering, like.
That is true.
That's why the Bible says a woman is to be meek and mild. It's not that she ain't, she can't talk, or that she don't got no say, or that and he was like, yeah, the woman is always supposed to submit. And I was like, okay, you threw me off with that.
Right.
But I'm like, it's a partner. It's
right.
We're not equals, but it's a partnership.
It is a partnership, and I don't think men understand, like, we don't mind submitting when you give us something to submit to. Leave me. Take the load off.
Take the lead.
I will be a porn star, a nurse, a teacher, a friend, a brother, cousin, homie, lover, whatever you want to be. Whatever football team we working with, I'm on that shit. We want that. We want to get with y'all program, but you have to give us something to. You got to give us something to submit to. You got to, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to jump into a play that's going to get us crushed when we get out there and get on the field. We're not going to do that. But like you said, it has to be what makes sense, because if we're on the same team,
exactly,
we're not fighting against each other. So if me and you get into an argument, man, woman, what makes feel your emotions? You may think you're right, whatever, all this other stuff there, but what's conducive for the family, for the bigger picture?
Exactly.
If it comes from the man, yeah, okay, we're going to go with your thing because it works for everybody. Or woman, if it comes from you, we're going to do what you say, and we're going to stroke your ego. If you're doing all these things for me, I'm going to stroke your ego, baby. It could be your idea just as long as shit gets done.
Exactly.
So it's like, it's not a fucking tug of war of ego like some of these people make it. It's like, what's good for the bigger picture?
Yeah. I'd like to see if he went back and said something after the fact, because I think if he was my son, let's say I was his mom, and, you know, I saw him on this show talking about what our dynamic was as a married couple. And because I think too that maybe his mom didn't have conversations with him about this is a woman's role in the relationship. I think this is just what he saw, so that's what he took as Bible. Like, that's what he knew. I think that had he had conversations with his parents about how they maneuver through their relationships, he wouldn't have said that. I don't think. So I think that maybe his mom just didn't have conversation with him about, this is how me and your dad work. This is how a woman should help you. Like, you have a helpmate. You're not cracking the whip saying that, you got to submit to me and what I say goes.
Right. That's something that he indoctrinated on the way.
Exactly.
Because it's like at 28 years old, you've had at least, you've had enough encounters to know that ain't working with women.
Yeah.
Whether you're right or whether the woman is wrong, you can see that that's a current trend. Like, bitches don't react to that too well.
Exactly. And then even the girl he was talking to, her parents had been married since before she was born. And they got engaged 3 months after meeting and married 6 months after that.
Wow.
So like she's raised in a 2-parent household too that feels the complete opposite.
Right.
So it's like you can look and see what you think your parents are doing, and like you said, you indoctrinated that in yourself growing up as a child to be Bible. Like you took that as this is the way it's supposed to go, when all they had to do was have a conversation with you and say like, well, it may look like this on the outside, but as the woman, you really hold the upper hand as a woman. And I think that any man that realizes that is an amazing man. Like
very smart.
Yeah.
Man.
For a man to realize that I need a woman to be able to, do these things in life and do good. And not to say that we telling you what to do and we letting the world know that every decision is ours. It's not about that. It's about us being able to look at details.
What's gonna help us win?
What's gonna help us win? We able to see your steps as you making them. When you looking at the big picture, we like, okay, well, if this happened, then it ain't gonna go that way, the way you thought. Right. So that's why I feel like you're a helpmate. Like
you are a helpmate, and everybody like a leader on every ladder, every arena. In corporate America, the CEO, he cannot see.
You can't see nothing.
Right? You can't see shit. The leader of a football team, nigga, you can't make your play. The quarterback can't make his play if he ain't got people making niggas stay off. So it's like, nigga, okay, you don't get so gung up on titles and hierarchies that you don't see the bigger picture is for everybody to win. So whether I'm carrying the load and carrying you on my back, let's go, or whether you care, or whether we walk in hand, whatever makes us win.
Yeah.
And I think people need to look at it like,
yeah, it's not so concrete as people try to make it seem.
Right.
It's a back and forth of these are your strengths. Like there are some women who handle the finances in their relationship just because they're strong at that, and the men are not. The men spend frivolously, and the woman is very good at budgeting. That doesn't mean that he's not a leader in the household.
Right.
So I don't know. I just think that I hope that
it's ego.
Yeah, I really hope that his parents were like, we hate that we showed you that. And that's really not what it is. It may have looked like that because we don't have to tell you our business.
Right.
We're in a married relationship. We don't have to tell our children how our relationship evolved and how it works. Right. But we need you to understand that you can't go. And I'm not even going to say black women because she kept throwing in black women. It's not about black women. It's a woman in general. If you're going to marry somebody, you can't go around thinking that you're going to make all the decisions and like.
You shouldn't even want that.
Yeah, like, does she have a brain?
And that's strain on you. That's a lot of pressure and stress.
Yeah. And I get, in some cultures, like in the Middle East, it's like normal, but we're not in the Middle East.
But that woman still has to play her role and take care of the kids in the household so he can be in a place to work and lead and do all those other things. So it's like, she still has value. You can't do what you do without her.
Right. Still. Yeah. But even still in the Middle East, it's very this is what we're going with. This is the decision, and this is what we're doing.
Hopefully, you marry a nigga who you like the decisions that nigga.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you have to think about that. It's like, okay, well, what if you ain't got no common sense? You book smart, but you ain't got no common sense. Then you gonna lead? Where you leading us to?
That's what I be telling. Like some of these hustling niggas who ain't got the degrees and all that stuff like that. Man, they may have had a background of getting it out the mud. And let them get fired from a job and get furloughed because a pandemic happened. I bet you ain't missing no meal.
Yeah.
But some of these white collar Braxton P. Harderbrig, and I went to boarding school and I went straight to Harvard. Let them lose their job. They're gonna be depressed, about to shoot their brains out. All this. Give me a nigga who got a little hump in him.
A little struggle.
Because you might got Braxton P. Harderbrig leading you and some shit. The ship starts sinking. This motherfucker gonna jump off and leave your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about helping each other out, and it doesn't matter what you portray to your kids. I feel like he literally took that on, and that probably wasn't literal.
And even if it was, like, after a certain thing, the good and the bad, whatever, your parents, like, some things you have to learn to do more of what they taught you. Like, dang, they did teach me more respect in this area, whatever. And some of the things you may not like, dang, I got to unlearn this because this is what I see in my family. Your parents ain't responsible. Even if your parents hurt you, and some Kirk Franklin documentary.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Girl, it was like the shit that his mom did. I think she's evil. It's some things, and if that messed him up, I'm like, I can see because that's messed up. But after a while, you are responsible for your own healing, your way of thinking, and unlearning some things. And he will have to, unfortunately, maybe detach from his mom or unlearn some of the things like, hey, this is not love. Let me do better with my kids. So I was like, man, look.
Well, you saw when he went to his son, because him and his son had been at odds for 2 years.
Yeah.
And he, was realizing that this is learned behavior. It's not something I was actively trying to do. I wasn't trying to not like you or, it was learned behavior. But it's just so sad to see. Well, he's like 50-something.
53.
Just, to not have never known his dad, for his mom to keep lying, even sitting right there with the DNA results, to keep lying, saying that's not your dad.
And she voluntarily took the test on live syndication, like you knew this was, and you still couldn't. God, I was
you still saying it's not. Like, how is it possible? Like, if you ever had sex with that man,
it's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
And you saw the way the man who he thought was his father looked versus how this man looked. Anybody be like, that's Kirk dad.
Yeah, and it was so sad for him to find out now.
Yeah,
and he was like, I missed all your life. Because they kept saying I wasn't your dad.
Now my thing is, I got a little woo with that. You know, I go down a rabbit hole. So it seemingly said, and I'm not saying that it's the dad's fault or like he should have did. It's nothing else I don't think that he could have done. But that was like, it's a small town. Clearly she had him, I guess, in a very, very young age where everybody, whatever, small town, everybody knew something. If you heard a rumor, everybody knew the rumor. So he was like, when he asked, he was like, so you just didn't hear no rumors or anything? Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, I've never seen Kirk Franklin's mom before this. Because I'm like, have you not seen this man on TV and be like, dang, like I fucked that woman. And that nigga do look like me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you didn't never, like do you really think that he has zero even possibility of knowing that could have been his child?
I don't know. I mean, I think, because Kirk wasn't even raised by his mom. So.
Okay. True.
That could have been the hindrance in.
That's true. That is true.
I felt it was genuine when he came with the DNA results. I felt like the man's reaction was very genuine. Like he really didn't know. I think maybe at some point they probably told him that you're not his dad. And he was like,
I just want to see.
Yeah, what can I do? I mean, and for me, this actually happened with a guy I was dating. He was under the impression that he had a second child because the child looked like him. That's all he was going by. The child looked like him. And the mom kept saying, no, he's not yours. He's not yours. He's not yours. For whatever reason, she didn't want him to be his or whatever. And he literally is taking her to court to get a paternity test. Like, he's going through every motion possible to try to at least say, okay, this is not my child. Or, yes, it is my child. He's not going to just let it fall by the wayside. So I think those are things that should be done. Like, you can't just take somebody's word for it that that's not your child. If you really have a strong feeling, or whether the child looks just like you or look like your mom, because kids will look like your siblings and mom and grandparents before they look like you.
Right.
So whatever feeling that you have that the child may be yours, I think you should go at all stops to make sure the child is yours. Like, if you got to take her to court to get a paternity test, I think you should do that. I don't think that you should just take somebody's word for it and then you have this kid that you don't have a relationship with, and then when they get older and they go on trying to find out what's going on, then they mad at you because they're like, well, why didn't you come try to find me?
Right. And they have to unpack all of that. When it's like, I did not know. Nigga, I didn't know. And for his mom to like lie like that was like, I felt I felt like I'm like, oh my goodness. I hurt, like my heart mourned for him.
Of course I started crying because, you know, who would I be
Me
if
too.
I...
Like,
who would I be if I
Barbie,
didn't
but
cry?
like, it was like that. Oh, my God. I did. I was like, oh, my goodness. I would have, if I was Kirk Franklin's wife, I would have, I don't know if she was in that room supporting her husband or outside the door. I would have ran in and just clotheslined the bitch. Because that's just too evil. That's too, and I think, my God, what has she gone through in her life to not be able to show up for her son when she know, man, he's, at least you abandoned him and neglected him. Whether you had a perfectly good explanation for it, that's your journey. But you still can't show up for your son, and he's 53 years old. Like, for you, and for, like, what have you gone through to be that fucked up?
Yeah. And even, like, to have the DNA test results in front of you, to literally sit there with the paper in your hand and go, that's not your dad. That's a lie. That's not your dad.
Mm-hmm. And what about the auntie? Ugh. Cringe.
I think she's just in a hard position that she shouldn't have to be in. I don't think she should have to be in the middle.
But you think that her attitude was like, do you think that was warranted on any, like, why so nasty?
Yeah.
Why so nasty? And that's the nicest word I can use, because I'm just taught to respect my elders. But she was very nasty for no reason.
Yeah.
She was very unnecessary.
Mm.
Whew, and I could see that hardness and that stubbornness she got in there. It must run through the bloodline, child.
Yeah.
It must. The way she talked to him, and like, you're still, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm gonna emasculate you. Like, I'm still whatever.
Yeah, I'm your auntie. I'm older than you.
Yeah.
Or
you gonna respect me. Whatever I say goes.
Yeah, she definitely was talking crazy to him.
That's what I took it as, and he even was very mature. It's like, can you just give me a second, because I need, and then I'll come in. Like, I was like, my goodness. And his mom to even lie, like, she was like, I'm sorry. Like, if I tell you something like, look, this man is not your daddy, I'll just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's sociopath or psychopath, whatever the path is. For, like, she went through so many explanations to even, like, insult somebody's intelligence. I don't care if it's 99.5% right. This is not your dad. I'm sorry for you that you gotta go through this thinking that this man is your daddy. I'm like,
yeah, that's delusional.
Yeah. Like, that's psychotic, girl.
Yeah, that is.
Girl.
That is. That's crazy.
I was like, wow. I was like, wow. I would have, if I was his wife, I would have fucking morphed like a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger and just came on the desk where they were, and I just would have, like, had to roundhouse kick her in her face. Because now I'm gonna have to deal with this nigga, and this is really, don't nobody hurt my fucking man, bitch. Like,
yeah, but
I don't care if it is your mama, your sister, your daddy, your cousin, your auntie in a wheelchair. I'm a roundhouse. That was mean. That was mean. I'm gonna kick your ass out of a wheelchair.
Not you gonna clothesline the mama.
Mm-hmm. Right in the trachea. I know the pressure points. You probably do too. Being in the medical field. Girl, that was horrible. Like, that was a good documentary.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad he talked to his son too. That was, because I remember that being on People about how they were.
Did you hear the sound bite of when he cussed them out?
I did. It was back when it first happened, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He a black parent for sure. For sure. So that's how I know he helped. He held restraint, because I seen the way he cussed his son out. He could have cussed that auntie out like that. He could have cussed his mom out.
He held restraint whether he cussed the son out or not. And that was some real restraint to have somebody on the phone. Now you gonna talk to me right? That's how she was talking on the phone. I'm like,
it made him call him auntie. What did you call me?
Yeah, because he was calling her by her first name.
Yeah, Sandra, whatever her name was. Child, I was like, man.
Well, we didn't went on a rabbit hole of parenthood.
I feel like we unpacked so much on this episode.
Yeah, that was a lot.
We went in so many different arenas, like we're in a pinball. Let's go here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we love you guys for sticking with us, because one thing we're going to do is go on a journey on every episode.
We are. I'm so looking forward to our sushi.
Oh, yeah.
Please, God, let our sushi come.
I know. Well, we'll catch you guys next week on another episode of Misunderstood the Podcast. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
This is the Spotlight Podcast Network.